Microphone check 212. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to It's the Bearded Man podcast with your favorite, the world's favorite bearded man, waaay. Episode 43 in the building. I love the sound of 43. Never been more excited to see the number 43 than right now, today. Speaking of 43, just so happens that today, when I woke up at 5:30, put on my gym clothes, or I should call it my gym work from home clothes, since I've been working out at the crib for the last 6+ months, like all of you beautiful people. The temperature has dropped significantly in Los Angeles, and I can't complain because I know my fellow East Coasters, if any of you are listening, you're probably like, yo, waaay, shut up, bruh. We got crazy winter coming. I know, but man, it was a wake-up call today. Went outside, 43 degrees out, had my little gloves on, had a hat on, freaking layered up. It wasn't too long ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, I was out there every morning working out with just my shorts on, you know what I'm saying, getting that sweat in early morning, and temperature is changing, ladies and gentlemen. But sure enough, for all of those who care, every time I record these solo podcasts in my bedroom, solo dolo, I take the shirt off. You know why? Because I'm about to be cooking up some heat, and I don't want to overheat myself. I got to keep myself hydrated, so I got the water next to me. That's why I got liquid IV in there, baby. Always got to plug it up. As you can tell by my voice right now, I'm pretty happy. I'm coming off an amazing weekend. Just waaay, can't stop, won't stop. Just doing it, baby. Just throwing himself out there constantly. Just Friday comes, it's like shifting gears, go from work mode during the week. Then I'm like community mode on the weekend, throwing myself out there, meeting a bunch of people. And man, I'm just hitting good strides right now. Really good strides. Friday night, went out to some bar. I think it's called Zinc on Abercrombie in Venice. Very, very LA, but it was a great time, must I say. And then Saturday, actually, really interesting time for the bearded man, as it always is. No matter the time of year, day of week, it's always an interesting time when you're waaay, the bearded man. I'm in the process right now of actually looking for a new piece of property, apartment, house to live in, with two of my homies, which I'll get into at some point when that's officially locked in. But I'm going to be moving to a different part of LA, which I'm super, super excited about. More like Venice, Santa Monica. For those out here in LA, they know the vibe out here. Big vibes, you know what I'm saying? Big LA vibes. But this is a part of LA that I've always wanted to live in. And I'm very excited that it's going to be happening soon. Checked out 5 properties on Saturday. Of course, the one that we liked, come to find out by the end of the day, was already taken. So this is becoming a issue. You would think that because of COVID times, not many people are applying. But I guess everybody's moving to the West Coast, or everybody's looking to move right before the holidays. I don't know. But we're going through that process right now. I'm confident we will find an amazing place, and I cannot wait. Also, after that, Saturday was a day. Saturday was a day and a half. We started off with 5 properties in the morning. Midday, we took a party bus up into Topanga. It's a part of LA in the Malibu Hills area, and went to this overlook of all of like the valley into the ocean, into downtown LA, and threw a dance party for my fellow bearded brother Elliot, who I just met a couple weeks ago. An incredible party bus, let me tell you. We were rocking and rolling, having a grand old time. And then after that, we went back to Elliot's, through a little post-dance party at his crib. I for sure opened up to this gal that I've had my eye on for a little bit now, and I pretty much confessed without confessing it that I had a major crush on her. So we'll see if that works out. I definitely admitted to her that I was trying to play it cool, but you know, waaay just feeling good, catching a vibe, drinking some White Claws, and just has to share his emotions. And so we'll see where that goes. But you know what? Sometimes you got to shoot that shot. You got to throw yourself out there. You got to just let it roll. And if it don't work, it don't work. But if it works, woo, baby. Well, we shall see. I'll give you some updates if that goes anywhere. Say your prayers for me. I need all the positivity I can get. But more importantly, today, episode 42 of the podcast dropped with Cali Rockowitz at Cali Rock on IG. This girl mentality is incredible. She don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get better at using better language, but it's just sometimes that word just like it adds emphasis. Just sometimes you just gotta say it. You ever stub your toe and you're just like, fuck. I don't know, something about it. Anyway, Cali Rock, visual artist. I really suggest you guys, and I say this every time when I do these solo pods. I'm like self-promoting my other podcasts that have clearly just rolled out. But what was so interesting about her story is she spent a decade popping around from different careers. She spent all of her 20s trying to find her passion, or like the career that she was supposed to be doing for her life, quote unquote, right? I feel like that's what a lot of the 20s are. It's kind of figuring it out. And she popped from 10 careers in 4 different cities within a decade. She had painted growing up, loved it, stopped when she went to college, and then when she ended up getting re-inspired to pick it up, and within a year after picking it up again, she quit her job and went full-time as an artist. And her first paid commission after she left, okay, this wasn't locked in, she took a leap, her first paid commission was for the Smith family, a.k.a. Will Smith. You guys ever heard of him? Yeah. That was her first paid commission. She did Kehlani. She's done a list of other incredible projects. But I just think it was such an interesting story, because sometimes we see people that, find it young and they're in their late teens, early 20s, and they're already crushing it with doing whatever that thing is that they're passionate about or they're good at. But her story was so unique because she walked away from the passion, came back a decade later, and didn't miss a beat, and is just absolutely crushing right now. She has a brand called Sorry Dad that she puts a lot of her energy and some of her work through. Let's just say this. You got to go check out Cali Rock. If you don't want to listen to the podcast, fine, fair enough. Don't listen to me, even though you're listening to me right now. But check her out on IG, at Cali Rock. She will be a great follow, and I'm a big, big fan of her energy. Cali, if for somehow, some way you hear this, big fan of you. Anywho, that's some housekeeping, and let's get into today's podcast. Today's topic is a reminder to stay authentic to you. I kind of had a feeling I was going to do this podcast for today, but then there were 3 moments in the last 24 hours that I knew I was supposed to be doing this topic today. One was a conversation I had with a girl last night at the surprise birthday party. Shout out to Lauren. If you hear this, probably won't, but we were talking about how important it is to be surrounded by people where you feel confident to be authentically you. And a lot of the people that I've been connecting with in the last couple weeks, couple months, everyone's authentic. They're just who they are, and nobody's trying to be somebody they're not. Love that. Then I saw a video Lewis Howes had posted, a fellow podcaster as if we're like in the same bracket. Not, but I'll get there. He had posted a Jim Carrey quote, which I will read in a minute. And then thirdly was a video that my man, one of my friends sent me a video today, and it was just talking about, it was a couple clips, 2 clips. It was one from Mac Miller with Rick Rubin, and then it was another clip of Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. And it was just, it was a 36-second clip, and it was just about the importance of kind of staying authentic to you. And I was like, got to do this podcast today. We got to do it. So I definitely take it for granted how easy it is for me to be authentic. I am who I am. You probably see it through my social media posts. You hear it in these podcasts. I'm unapologetically, authentically me. Doesn't mean that I don't have my days here and there. You know what I'm saying? I have little speed bumps. I have some moments where I'm not feeling that hot. But for the most part, I'm just so unapologetically myself. And I love that about myself. I love that I stand for who I am. I'm comfortable in my own skin. I'm not intimidated by other people. I am who I am. I don't think I'm better than anybody else, but I'm just confident with who I am. What you see is what you get. You should know that by now. You know what I'm saying? What you see is what you get. A lot of this, I have to say, is definitely through this journey of podcasting and social media over the last 4 years. Did not have this type of confidence in the beginning. Like when I think about those early stages when I was creating, overthinking myself, not knowing what I was doing. Now I'm at a place because I've been consistently doing it for so long that I just don't overthink myself anymore. I just go, go, go. And I think that lesson from content has translated into my life, which I'm so thankful for, so fortunate for. And I just wanted to dive into it because I think it is extremely, extremely important that we stay authentic to who we are. I think we can all think of people, or maybe we can think of moments in our own lives where we're not authentically ourselves. We are changing who we are because of the people we're around, or we think because of society's expectations we're supposed to be somebody else. I think there's probably a lot of people in this world that I hope, I don't want to make assumptions. I don't know statistics, but I would hope that most people, when they wake up in the morning and they see themselves in the mirror, they're proud to be who they see. Do they see somebody that they're actually proud of, or do they see somebody as acting like they're somebody else that they're actually not? So we're going to dive into that today, and I'm really stoked about it. But before we do, let me remind you guys and gals, very important, if at any moment during this podcast you enjoy this episode, all that I ask, I'm not asking for your money, not asking for your anything, not asking for anything except screenshot this episode, post it to your IG story, tag me at Bob-A, B-O, 3 B's, 4 A's, and a Y, and share it out with the world and tell them, go listen to this man's podcast right now. Seriously, it really helps. And for those that do it, thank you so much. And for those that haven't done it yet, it's okay. You can do it right now, or you can do it after you listen to this episode. So please keep sharing it out. Tag me. It's really important. It's how we grow this organically. And I really, really appreciate it. So let's get into today's podcast. Let's do it. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Lewis Howes, fellow podcaster, the School of Greatness podcast host, he posted this video with Jim Carrey, and I'm going to read the quote, and it's not going to sound as good as the actual clip, but I hope that it resonates. I'll read it twice. Jim Carrey said in this video, when you create yourself to make it, you're going to have to either let that creation go and take a chance on being loved or hated for who you really are, or you're going to have to kill who you really are and fall into your grave grasping onto a character you never were. Let me say that one more time. When you create yourself to make it, you're going to have to either let that creation go and take a chance of being loved or hated for who you really are, or you're going to have to kill who you really are and fall into your grave grasping onto a character you never were. Really, really important. You're going to have to either let that creation go and take a chance on being loved or hated. That's the focus of today's podcast. When you are your authentic self, you take a chance and you will be loved and you will be hated by others. It does not matter who you are. Who's the most positive person in the world that you can think of? The Pope? Oprah? I mean, insert any name. There's haters. There always has been. There always will be haters, even for the most loved and kind people in the world. You have to understand that no matter who you are and what you do in this life, people are going to love you and people are going to hate you. And as soon as you can accept that and realize that no matter which direction you go, there's always going to be haters and there's always going to be people that really love what you do, you know that it doesn't matter what direction you go, it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same results, which means that the only direction you can go is being authentically who you want to be. That's it. So why is it not easy to be you? That's a great question. That's probably what you're asking, right? Well, I hope so, because that's what I'm diving into, baby. It's not easy to be you. It's not easy for me to, I'm Mr. Bob-A. I'm the bearded man. Some people love it. Some people hate it. Some people probably talk shit about it. Shit. Someone listening right now might be talking shit about it to their friend while they're listening to this podcast in the car going, this guy, I don't know what he's talking about. That's fine. It's okay. If you're talking about me, I'm doing something right. You know what I'm saying? But we allow society's expectations, opinions, views to get to our head about who we should be. I'll give you two examples. One would be, I talked about this on the recent episode 37 podcast that I did about letting go of society's expectations about love and hookups. And I talk about how I've allowed society's expectations about hookups and finding love to get to my head, where I devalue who I think I am and what my worth is, because I'm not some guy that's just hooking up with chicks every weekend, or I don't have like all these girls in the pipeline, or I don't have like, one relationship then bounce to the next. Like that's just not who I am. And so I have in the past allowed that to get to my head. We're working on it. We're getting better at it, but I would be lying if I said I didn't allow society's expectations to get to my head. Secondly, would be another example would be when I was graduating college, about to start a podcast, everyone around me at my college was like, you're about to You're about to graduate from business school, not get a job, and start a podcast. Okay, don't make sense. So in that moment in time, fortunately, I had two really supportive parents that were like, do what you want, figure it out, but you're going to have to pay for your own bills. Love that. Love you, mom and dad. Thank you for supporting. But society was there to tell me you're graduating college. The next step has to be get a job. That's what you're supposed to do. And the next step of that is going to be work that job for 30 years and then retire and then blah, 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 blah. So if we allow society's expectations, opinions, and views to get to our head, it's not going to ever be easy for us to be who we are because we're going to be listening to what society is telling us who we need to become. Secondly, we compare ourselves to other people and wish that we could be more like them. There's can be times and situations where we will compromise who we really are in order to be like somebody else. Think about that for a moment. Think about, has there ever been a moment in your life where you compromised who you were in order to get something or to be like somebody else? That's not staying authentically to you. In the short term, it might make sense. You might see a job for Facebook or Google or Apple, and you're like, I just want to work for that company. And you see the job description, and you go, this is not me, but I want to do this job. It sounds great. Which is totally, I'm up for that as well. But if you're not thinking about the long term, the bigger picture, it's not going to last. You're going to get into that role. You're going to be working for that great company. But if you're not doing the thing you really want to do, it is going to be short term. You're going to start making great money. You're going to have all these benefits, but you're going to hate the day-to-day grind of what you do. And I don't know what the percentage of our life is that we spend working, but it is a lot, and it is not worth us to do something that we hate. So we don't want to ever bend ourselves to be somebody that we're really not at its core. Thirdly, why it's not easy to be you, we allow one negative opinion about ourselves to stay in our head versus the million good thoughts. Think about that for a moment. Why is it that we allow that one negative opinion or thought about our own selves to just crush us? We can hype ourselves up. We can feel super positive, and it kind of comes and goes really quick. But when that negative thought comes across, it sticks around. It's like a leech. It doesn't go anywhere. It sucks. It stays sucked to us. It's just like on Instagram. You got 1,000 great, beautiful comments. You are so awesome. You're so beautiful. Great beard, blah, blah, blah. But then there's that one negative where I'm like, this mother, what? What you mean I ain't got a great beard? What you mean, bruh? We always allow the negative to stick around longer than the positive. Why is that? I don't know. We're humans. We are stubborn sons of bees. Fourth reason it is not easy to be you is we are using other people's playbooks to live rather than writing our own. This is crucial. You can take inspiration and kind of let's say, replicate what people have done in the past. There are playbooks. But if we're trying to replicate step by step how somebody got to where they are today, or we're trying to be like them, we're always going to be second at best. For example, I'm not trying to be the next Joe Rogan. I'm not trying to be the next Lewis Howes. Do I want to have a podcast at that magnitude that's impacting a lot of people and that, puts out really great content? Absolutely. But I'm not trying to be the next them, because if I'm doing that, I'm always going to be second to them. And whether you're comparing yourself in that sense, or it's like how you decide to live your life, if we're playing life by the rules of what other people are telling us, oh, you need to go get a job. Oh, you can't quit. You can't quit. What else are you going to do? Oh, you want to move across the country to Los Angeles, California? No, you can't do that. You're supposed to stay in Massachusetts. Oh, you want to backpack Europe for 3 months? This is obviously not COVID times. You want to backpack 3 months? No, you can't do that. You're supposed to be working your career. You're supposed to be stacking money. Oh, you want to get married at the age of 22? Come on, nobody does that. Well, you in love? Do it. We're all writing our own playbook. Nobody's got the true answers, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep it 100. 100 emoji, insert. Let's keep it 100. Nobody's got all the answers. We're all just running through life, trying to figure it out as we go, trying to do the best, to be our best. And we're learning from other people's journeys and other people's stories. But at the end of the day, we are writing our own playbook. Take plays from other people's playbook, but at the end of the day, this is yours. You make the call. So how do we be authentically you? That's what I know you're looking for. That's why you clicked into this episode. But before we get there, high quality water break. You know the drill. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Need that H2O, baby. You guys ever see those backpacks that people wear when they're like working out or riding a bike, and it's like it has a thing, it's all full of water? Yeah, I need one of those so I can just keep rolling and not have to stop. All right, how do you be authentically you? A couple things. Number one, there is only one of you. You are unique to yourself. Unless you have a twin. I thought about that before. I was like, if I say this, it's not really true because there's people out there that have twins. If you have a twin, I guess this doesn't apply, and now I feel stupid. But for the most part, majority, I don't think a lot of people that probably listen to this have a twin. There is only one of you. And similar to what I was just saying, we are writing the script of our own story each and every day. Think about how kind of cool that is. You don't have to want to become a writer, but think about how you are writing your own story. You hold the pen. Other people, like I said before, other people can give you tips, pointers, but you're writing the script of yourself. I, the bearded man, Bobby, I'm writing my script. That's why in the past I've authentically promote. Yes, I'm an Uber driver. Best in the world. That's me. I'm owning it. Yes, I'm a podcast specialist for Liquid IV. I'm owning it. Yes, I'm the host of It's the Bearded Man podcast. I'm owning it. Whatever chapter I'm at, I just own it. It's part of the storyline. It's part of my script. I'm not saying my story is better than the next person or this is the only way to do it. But this is just the way the world's taking me, and so I'm writing it as I go. And that's the thing. Because each decision is our own choice, right? There is no right or wrong choice. We are the ones making the choice, and therefore there is no right or wrong choice because we're writing the script. We're writing our own storyline, okay? There is no right or wrong choice. We have the pen. We decide which way we want to go. And I think it's important. You can seek feedback from friends, but ultimately you have to do and choose what you feel is best for you. Do you want to take that job because your friends and family are telling you need to take it? It's really good. Or do you want to take that job because that's what you really want to do? And don't get me wrong. I understand there's moments in our lives where it's like if there's only one job opportunity, and I don't mean to just talk about jobs, but it's just kind of what's flowing through my mind. If there's one job and you need financial stability and obviously bills are coming in, yes, in the short term, you should take that to get yourself on your feet and figure out what the next step is. But in the long play, you don't have to keep doing that. You can find a pivot. You can take that next step. So I think it's really important. In order to be authentically you have to remember there is only one of you. You hold the pen. You're writing the script. Number 2, accept that everyone will have an opinion about you. So similar to what I was saying earlier. Accept it. Love it. Enjoy it. Embrace it. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one. People are going to have an opinion about what you do, no matter what it is. You could literally say tomorrow, I'm starting a nonprofit and 100% of all proceeds goes to helping those in need around the world, giving them shelter and food. And guess what? There's got to be somebody out there that talks trash, that shoots down your idea and has their own feedback on what you want to do. And you're trying to help the world. You're trying to do good. So with that said, people are always going to have an opinion, right? It's guaranteed. You got to cherish and hold on to the positive and uplifting comments and feedback you get from people, the people that you love and love you back and that make you feel good. Cherish those. Hold on to those. Appreciate those. Be grateful for those when people cheer you on. But the people that come at you and they got nothing good to say, I think we all know those people. Anytime you're around them, they got nothing good to say. It's they're just pessimistic, and it's just get that energy out of here. Let whatever they have to say in one ear and let it out the other, baby. It's a one-way street with that negative shit. In one ear, out the other. You ain't got time for it, and you definitely do not need to hold on to it. So accept and embrace that everybody is going to have an opinion. Hold on to the good, let out the bad. Number 3 to how to be authentically you. When it comes to life, there is no dress rehearsal. That's a classic Bird Hobart line, aka my father. When it comes to life, there is no dress rehearsal. Or also to quote the great Lil Wayne, you ever heard this song before? He said, "You only live once, that's the motto, YOLO." That's truth. You only live once. A lot of people are walking around this world as if there's a round 2, round 3, round 4, round 5. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. There is no dress rehearsal. This is the bottom. No, hold up. This is the 4th quarter of the finals. This is the bottom 9th of the World Series, bases loaded. We got one shot. Okay? I know we hear it. We hear this from time to time. It sounds so cliche. One shot to live. Like, live your best life. Blah, blah, blah. So why is it that so many people are walking around like this is like some reset? You know, it's like a video game. If you played Grand Theft Auto growing up and you drive your car off a cliff and you die, you get reset and start over, and there you go. This is a one-shot deal, and I'm guilty of it too, ladies and gentlemen. I forget it. I make bad decisions. I get caught up in things that don't truly matter, and I have to reset myself and reground myself and go, Bob, hey, this is a one-shot deal. You got to keep it moving, baby. You got to keep moving forward. So I think we have to remind ourselves that there is no dress rehearsal. So why do we? So if that's the deal, this is a one-shot deal. Why in the world do we want to spend 1 second of it trying to be someone we're not? Be authentically you. Why waste a second trying to be somebody you're not when you know this life has an expiration date? It's going to happen. We need to double down on the moments, experiences, passions, and people that make us truly happy. Because it's a one-shot deal. There is no dress rehearsal. Remember that. Number 4, to be authentically you. We're in the driver's seat. We control the destination, baby. You guys want to be NASCAR drivers? Buckle up, because you're now one. Welcome aboard. You're the driver of your own vehicle, aka your own life. We're in control of the direction of where our life is headed. And if we don't like where it's headed, stop, assess, think about the big picture of where we want to be, and reroute ourselves. And if you don't know what direction to go, that's totally fine. I've been there. It sounds, maybe you've been watching me for the last couple of years and you're like, yo, this guy's got it figured out. He seems to know what he's doing. Yes, I am figuring it out. It is constantly a work in progress. I too question my own, like, is this the right direction? Should I be doing something else? Like, shit, maybe I should be a baker, Bob's Baker. Maybe I should Bob the Builder out building construction. I don't know. I'm constantly assessing and evaluating, is this the right direction? Am I happy? Am I fulfilled? Am I learning? Am I enjoying it? And it's yes, yes, yes. But it wasn't long ago, let me remind you, when I was getting into this podcast game, I didn't know what I was passionate about. I didn't know what I was supposed to do on this earth. And what you got to do, in my opinion, is you got to embrace that. When you don't know what the passion is or what the purpose is, you got to just kind of stop for a second, smile, and go, okay, I don't know what in the hell I'm doing, but I'm going to figure it out. And you know how I'm going to figure it out? I'm going to try a bunch of things. I'm going to dip my toes into things that interest me. And I'm going to try it out. I'm going to pick up guitar. I'm going to play John Mayer. And I don't like it after 3 months. Cool. I'm going to move on to something else. And I'm going to get into gaming. I'm going to start a Twitch channel. And I go for 2 years straight. I loved it. Kind of over it. Move on to the next. You keep marinating and trying ideas to see what sticks and what doesn't. But the only way you're going to find it is by being authentic to you and actually going forward with it. The little thing that just popped in my head when I think about it, when I was in high school, I enjoyed the video class that I took. I took one. There was 3 of them you could take. I didn't follow through with what I was passionate about, and I didn't stay authentic to me because my friends weren't taking those classes. So I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be the loser by himself and not in these classes with friends. So I didn't follow through. But had I followed through, maybe it would have took me down a different path. No regrets, never. But I will say it is extremely important that the only way we find those things that we're passionate about, or we find what we're quote unquote supposed to do on this earth, we have to test and try things and dip our toes to see what works. Ultimately, we need to make change when things aren't going the way we wish they were. We are in the driver's seat. You got the keys. You're behind the wheel. Drive and change directions when things ain't going smooth. And I get it. There's times in your life when you feel like your car is on fire. Things aren't going your way. You're not catching a break. I get it. Been there. Have had my own moments and situations in my own life when I never thought I was going to get out of the Uber grind. Never imagined I'd be where I am today and to have this incredible opportunity and to be doing what I'm doing. But I saw it through. And if I can do that shit, I promise you, you guys and gals can as well. Fifth and final piece to being authentic to you. Really important. I love this one. This is going to get me really fired up to even say it. Become your biggest hype man and hype woman. Let me say that one more time. Become your biggest hype man and hype woman. You don't have anyone to cheer for you? Perfect. You got a whole crowd behind you? Amazing. It does not matter if you have people supporting you or if you have nobody cheering you on. You need to become your biggest hype man, hype woman. We need to be our biggest fans. When we see ourselves in the mirror every day, that's got to be the biggest fan. Because we're the one driving the car. We're the one out there doing the work on the day-to-day grind. People got their own shit they got to worry about. They got their own lives they got to look forward to. Please cheer people on when you can, and you'll appreciate the reciprocation. But at the end of the day, we need to be our biggest hype man, hype woman. And regardless, you just got to do it. We can't rely on other people's energy to pick us up. When the days are shitty, we need to cry it out. We need to scream. We got to get in that workout to get that out of us. We need to embrace the wave of the emotion and don't run from it. There's going to be bad days. It's inevitable. It is part of life. But when they come, you have to just remind yourself, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. You will get through whatever it is that you're going through. And then when the days are better, soak it all up and continue to move forward. Don't get too good. You know what I'm saying? Don't be feeling yourself and not continue to make progress, but embrace it and be grateful for it, because at the end of the day, this too shall pass. Whether it is good or whether it's bad, remind yourselves, keep yourself grounded. This too shall pass. Have gratitude for both the good and bad days. The bad ones will help you learn more about yourself and help you appreciate the success all that much more, because you're going to remember those moments when things weren't going great and you just mentally weren't having the brightest, best of days, but you will get through it. This too shall pass. And also, when you have those good ones, have that as fuel to the fire inside you. Keeps you going, keeps you moving forward. So sometimes maybe you need that little extra push and you got a big win on the day. Overdrive, baby. Kick up the heat. Kick up the heat. So to recap, how do you be authentically you? Number one, there's only one of you. You are unique. You are special. You are awesome. There's only one of you. You're writing the script of your own story each and every day. You make the choices. There is no right or wrong, but be authentic to you. Number two, accept that everyone will have an opinion about you. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter what you do. There will be people that will hate it and there will be people that love it. Accept it and keep moving forward. Number three, when it comes to life, there is no dress rehearsal, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a round one, round two, round three. It's round one, and that's it. No dress rehearsal. Do the things you actually want to do. Number four, we're in the driver's seat. We control the destination. If things ain't going the way we want it to go, change that route, baby. Hit the reroute. Try something different. And number five, the most important, be your biggest hype man or hype woman. Don't rely on other people to be there to support you, regardless if you have one person there or 100. You got to be the biggest fan. That's what it's all about. My challenge for you guys and gals, the listeners, ask yourself this. Are you becoming someone you deep down inside want to become? Honestly, ask yourself, am I on the path that I'm happy about who I'm becoming? If yes, keep that foot on the gas, baby. If no, ask yourself, what could you do differently? What needs to change for you to wake up and be proud to see that person that you see in the mirror? To be authentically that version of yourself. What needs to change for that to happen? Make the changes. We got 3 questions from the Bearded Man community, the BMC, baby. I'm going to have to start a club soon enough. Questions from the Bearded Man community. Number 1, Mark Munoz. I hope it's Munoz. Mark's going to kill me if I pronounce that wrong. I'm sorry, Mark. He said, getting over the fear / mental barrier that is holding you back from your purpose? I mean, we talked about it a lot today. I mean, if I have to give one advice, you got one shot, Mark. There is no dress rehearsal. If that is the fear, the mental barrier where you're kind of questioning yourself, but you know what you really want to do, this is a one-shot deal, my man. What do you have to lose going after the thing you really love? You don't have anything to lose. No matter if you fail or you succeed, you at least took a shot. I always tell myself, I can live the rest of my life knowing that I at least went for something. Whether it's a podcast guest, whether it's a female, whether it is an area of my life I want to work on, whatever it might be, I can live the rest of my life knowing I at least went for it. So Mark, I challenge you, brother. Ask yourself, what do you have to lose? Nothing. You got everything to gain. So I think it's just reminding ourselves there is no dress rehearsal. Go for it. Second question from my man, Job Van Helden. Hope I pronounced that right. How to handle a situation where someone wants you to be someone you're not. Oh, easy. You get out of it. You get out of the situation. Much easier said than done. I need more context to get real specific. But if someone wants you to become someone you're not, and you're not open to becoming that person they envision, it's one thing when somebody's trying to push you to become a better version of yourself, and it could be like eating healthier or perfecting a craft or something within your job. If it's something that's like pushing you to become a better version of yourself, all for it. But if it's somebody wants you to become somebody you're just completely not, and you're gonna have to become the person you wish you never would become, you need to get out of that situation quick. And I think sometimes this is speaking, and I could be wrong, this is speaking about intimate relationships or somebody that you have a relationship with. Unfortunately, come to the terms that if somebody wants you to become somebody you're not willing to become, maybe the timing isn't great, maybe it's not meant to be. Embrace it and make the change that's necessary. You're in the driver's seat, Job. If you got to take a right and they want to go left, you got to do what's best for you at the end of the day, my man. Great question. Number 3 from Brian Piccola. Did you struggle with being authentic at first? And when you did realize how important, and when did you realize how important it is? Yeah, it's a great question, Brian. I mean, I kind of hit that in the beginning of the podcast when I talked about how, getting into the podcast game and social media game, it forced me to be authentic. But when did I realize how important it is? I think I really realized it through my Uber days. I just promoted so heavily, and that's actually funny because this is how my man Brian hit me up on the DM last week. I remember this, and he gave me a shout out, and he's like, "Yo, I was your Uber passenger 3 or 4 years ago," and he's just hyping me up, just like, it's great to see the journey with purpose and youth and where you're at. Like, keep going. And it was incredible because he was literally an Uber passenger for me in Boston, I believe. So I think it was me owning the fact that I'm an Uber driver and just promoting that on social, and like people, I don't want to say like rocked with me more because of how like vulnerable and authentic I was, but I just realized that like there's so much value to just being authentically you. And I think me owning like the Bed Rudy or the bedroom studio at my old crib for purpose in the youth, that was a huge, huge thing that like people were fired up to be part of it. So I think at first it took me a little bit of I was a little uncomfortable getting used to it, but then I just leaned into it. And then I really started to realize that along this journey with Uber and podcasting and creating and Gary Vee, he always preached it. You got to be your authentic self. That's just extremely important, because at the end of the day, if you're not authentically who you are, what's the point? There is no dress rehearsal. This is a one-shot deal. Just like Jim Carrey said, when you create to make it, when you create yourself to make it, you're going to have to either let the creation go and take a chance on being loved or hated for who you really are, or you're going to have to kill who you really are and fall into your grave grasping onto a character you never were. Kind of crazy to think about. Kind of surreal. Years and years down the line, decades away, when, we're about to send it off for one last time. You got to be happy looking back on your life going, I never was who I really wanted to become, and I became somebody I didn't want to become because society was telling me I needed to be this person, or I listened to family and friends that said I had to become this person, you're probably not going to be too happy. But I believe you stay authentic to you, you chase after the things you really want to do, you get to that deathbed, you're going to be like, I crushed it. I did what I needed to do. I was the most authentic and vulnerable self that I could possibly be. So I think it's just really important. I think it takes time, but day by day, brick by brick, you can be the most authentic person to yourself as long as you follow what intuition inside of you is telling you who you want to become. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Stay authentic to you. That is the big takeaway of today's podcast. If you enjoyed it, let me remind you, I know you guys hate when I say this, but please, if you enjoyed it, please screenshot this episode, post it to your IG story, tag me at Bob-A, B-O, 3 B's, 4 A's, and a Y. Share it out and tell the world what you enjoyed about this episode. It would mean the world to me, and it's what gets me fired up, and it's what gets me coming back week after week with this high-quality Bearded Man content. We got a lot more content on the way. If you have any topics you would like me to cover, shoot me a DM. If there's anybody specific you would like to see on the podcast, feel free to reach out. But at the end of the day, if you made it this far on the podcast, I greatly appreciate you taking the time to listen. And thank you for being part of the BMC, the Bearded Man community. You do not need a beard to be admitted to the community. You just got to be big on the energy and, enjoying some of this content. So thank you guys and gals so much. Keep crushing it. Whatever you're doing, keep that positivity in you. And I hope you're enjoying the content as much as I am creating it. Talk to you guys and gals soon enough. It's your boy, Bob-A, signing off. Talk to you guys soon enough. See ya.